like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts. So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel. Gross. Nothing. Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lung, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test. Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested. Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost. Jake won't let you see your mention. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you,
well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as
ultimate.
hell. Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
this was like the devil drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any, you can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you. You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist. Polite about it.
It's just not the polite way to have sex.
That's just really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say ma'am or sir or non-binary person.
Hello, Street Fighters. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night, time for a street fight, and we're here once again to help you get through the week, to provide some entertainment. So kick back and relax, get crated and faded. It's Street Fight. Brian and I will be yelling at each other tonight, and you're welcome to listen along. This is the Basement Show, the one that we started out doing ages ago. And on Sunday nights, we do our call-in show. That's 9 p.m. to midnight, so you can watch us either way you like us. We're live streaming on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. We're Street Fight WCRS on every social media platform except for Twitch, where we're Street Fight Radio. So jump in wherever you can. Spread this mess across the U.S. We absolutely appreciate it. We're also doing a pre-order for a badass fucking skull t-shirt. It says Street Fight Radio in a very heavy metal font, and it has a big ass skull, the one from the Metal Zine. Brought to you by an obelisk on Instagram. Dan, a good friend of ours, did some amazing artwork. So all month long we're taking pre-orders for that. That's the way to get it. I'm going to try to get as many extras as I can, but it's not a guarantee. So please consider heading over to store.streetfightradio.com to pre-order your t-shirt now. And if you don't have the $25 for a t-shirt, we're offering a $10 discounted version. I've got like 40 t-shirts that are prepaid. So if things are a little tight and you still want a Street Fight shirt, we got you hooked up, all right? It's $10 to get that plus shipping. So head to store.streetfightradio.com and secure one before the 31st.
What's up, dude?
Not much.
Not much, yeah. We
what's up? Oh, I did I did some autumn stuff today. Went to the garden center, spent like $60 on stuff that just is going to rot and deteriorate.
Yeah.
Flowers and stuff. I got some mums. I love mums.
No.
Do you like mums?
Big MILF hunter? Get it, mums.
Sure.
It was a big joke I did.
Yeah,
there.
you're great. You're a professional.
Yeah. I don't know what mums are.
Mums, they come out. They're like the only flower that lives in like this type of weather, I guess. But they're always out and they're like yellow and burgundy and orange. And they're like the perfect fall flower. I'm real big into the traditional stuff. Oh, my grandma always put her mums out. And they're like 50% off today. So we went and scooped them.
My wife does all the plant stuff in my house. I don't really pay attention to it at all. I like having them and I like the way it looks, but I never touch them or think about them or anything, but I do like them. I like having them.
Yeah.
It's a real situation I have there.
We got our pumpkins and stuff too. I'm going to try to like, I don't know what it's called. What is it like when you sculpt them? When like you don't cut it all the way through, you just shave the skin off and do like a 3D sculpture. I'm going to try to do that this year.
I do not know, but I'm excited to see what you come up with.
It seems like a thing. It's like carving up a vegetable, and it could take probably 10 to 11 hours, and that is like kind of exciting to me. That I found this pumpkin, and it looks like brains. It's already kind of like a pinkish white color, and I want to just make it look like exposed brains on the top. So
okay,
that's my plans.
Yeah, I don't have anything really happening, right? I lost my AirPods today.
That sucks.
So that was shitty, and I'm beating myself up about it. So I'm going to move quickly past that because it really bummed me out. But other than that, just doing my regular old working every night, doing podcasts,
Yeah.
I'm a real lunch bucket Joe kind of guy when it comes to that. And, it's Friday night, gonna have a movie night with the fam, watching Borat because it comes out, and all three of the members of the Quinby household are big Borat fans. Okay. So it's very exciting for us. We're pumped up. My daughter was just like, earlier today, Gwen was like, oh, it's so cool to have something funny happening. It seems like forever since something funny. I mean, she loved Cabin in the Woods, though. True. But in a very, I know she doesn't smoke weed, but in a very stoner way, she was like, there's so many levels to it, man.
Yeah.
But she laughed at that movie a lot. But yeah, she really likes Borat. So, it's one of those wonderful parts of having a teenager that you get to have movie nights and actually watch movies that you find good.
Yeah, that is nice. I'm looking forward to that.
because I've been going crazy about Hocus Pocus. I hate that movie. I'm so sick and fucking tired of that movie. It's
you
way too much.
Can't
now.
do that. It's going to be here every year.
I know. More.
It's like so set in stone. It's a regular tradition. I have trouble with it too.
Yeah. It's just I don't like movies in that way where they can become a tradition for me. You know?
I like tradition. I like watching movies. I mean,
they can't become a tradition for me. I want new stuff every year. If I'm going to watch a Christmas movie, I want it to be a new Christmas movie about, I don't know, some new Christmas thing, you know?
About Krampus.
About Well, I'm not going to watch Krampus now.
That's a good movie.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll check out Krampus. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like, we burned up all the family movies at the beginning of the month. We did like Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice, and Addams Family like in the first week, and it was like, oh man, we have to find other stuff now.
Too legit. The Addams Family.
Too legit, the Addams Family.
Too legit. I like that part. Did you watch Addams Family Values or just Addams Family?
Addams Family, the animated new one.
Yeah. So
that has the Migos song at the end.
Oh,
it's
you
good.
watched the cartoon
yes,
one. I'd
good.
rather have a live action one again.
Yeah.
You know, get some actors some work.
They're good. I mean, they're still good. Mamushka is still a funny ass joke.
Yeah. So the first story I want to do tonight is out of Ohio, and it's something that really freaks me out, but it's also something that I think highlights a sort of hypocrisy. And that is an Ohio public school has been giving students extra credit for watching videos from PragerU, a right-wing website that produces clips of talking heads such as Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro discussing conservative viewpoints, HuffPost has learned. The PragerU videos with titles such as Build the Wall, Why the Right Was Right, and The Left Ruins Everything were assigned to a 10th grade history class at Maumee High School, along with a series of questions about the video's most important messages. Now, a question that I have would obviously be, are they watching left videos and being able to discern which ones have messages that they agree with? I think not. I would guess not.
No, I mean that's a fair situation.
Because a leftist video would get them in trouble. The teacher would get in a lot more trouble than a PragerU video where, yes, some lib parents are going to get mad, but they're just going to chalk them up to being like,
squishy.
crazy libs, squishy. Oh, they can't handle it. They can't have it in there. Number two, conservatives are so worried that teachers are fucking hypnotizing their children that it's like, but they're the ones trying it. They're the ones that want to do it. They're the ones that'll bring it in. And the problem with this is that kids see any adult as a voice of authority.
Yeah.
And so you show them a PragerU video with Candace Owens or somebody in it, and they think they're seeing an educational video. They don't know that it's ideology.
Yeah.
And
this is the beginning of, the downfall of all society is once you say, shouldn't we need to consider what conservatives think.
Yes.
Like this is the beginning of that, where you're like, okay, I'm a kid, and from my perspective, we should help everybody, and no one should go hungry, and anybody that takes too much is a greedy asshole. This is PragerU steps in to tell them otherwise, to try to let them know that, like, how the real world is. That's what I feel that what they're trying to get at is, you can't just get by on good feelings and helping people.
Kids are also susceptible to that message more than anything. Young boys, I would say, more than young girls, but young boys are very susceptible to the every man for himself, right. Darwinian.
That's what they do.
We're all, every guy that I know went through that phase. Every guy that I know personally. Obviously, there's people that listen to this show that were, left when they were in high school, which is really commendable. But I know that, like, I believed, like the kind of stuff that PragerU would say. I believe that if you were in jail, that maybe you shouldn't have broke the law. I believed all that stuff. I didn't understand how the world worked.
Yeah, it's you get in this thing. It's like, well, what about someone says it's their right not to wear a mask and they don't want to do it and they believe that they shouldn't? It's like, oh, I guess we have to take them into consideration instead of following the best practices or science. Like, I guess instead of taking care of low-level employees, I guess we should consider the rich people that say we should all be left on our own to die on our own hills, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's even hideous that these, and you're right, they're doing it under the guise that the right wing doesn't have a voice in schools already. But I tend to feel like all institutions are to some extent conservative. You know, when I was going to OSU in the sociology department, I found the sociology department to be pretty conservative. Now, that doesn't mean the same thing that conservatives think conservatism mean. It just means that they were very much like, we don't want to make statements that are not totally rooted in like all of this, you know, rooted in theory or in all of this stuff. We want to make sure that, you know, and it's science, so it makes sense. They are collecting data and counting it and stuff. But the difference between a left person who is working in sociology and collecting data and interpreting the data and looking at the statistics is that a right-wing person can just say,
yes.
Like, well, I don't believe that.
They can just appeal to the emotions.
Yeah, they can just, no.
They constantly win by saying, well, I mean, your data may say this or that, but I just saw somebody the other day getting a free ride, you know? You know, and then all of a sudden we're spending all of our time. It's like, how do we stop one person from getting a free ride on this thing? You know, while the conductor steals from all of us.
Yes. So PragerU has started a push to get their videos shared in K through 12 schools. And this is going to come under the guise, again, that schools are already communist hotbeds.
Yes.
And that this is just balance. And you're not going to get our side of the story.
Well, this is also like we said with the beginning of the online school programs and digital academies and all of this, is that the right wing has prepared all of the informational material already. They have programs together to convince people to not think in a type of a leftist community type way. Like they are already doing all of the work to re-educate people into not thinking these things, you know, and they are way ahead of us. Like they are. I definitely think that PragerU, it makes sense that they would go into this. It's smart. I mean, you can see it from a mile away that they were going to just try to infect themselves into all parts of education.
Well, the school side of this also was that they could put opposing. They let the student include viewpoints from the opposite side.
Bullshit.
So you could disagree with it.
It's school. It's school. You go there and someone's in charge. The teacher's in charge. And so when the teacher puts something in front of you to consider, they rubber stamp that and say, this is important information for you to consider.
Yes.
And if they neglect to present that other side, if all they say is you're allowed to talk back to the teacher, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
The conservative movement seems to have figured out that they can't get young people. You know, that their problem is like creating a younger generation. They've seen that younger people tend to lean more even socialist now than they did in the past, you know, and that they have to get them when they're kids now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work, but who knows what kind of slick thing they can come up with that will work, and it will peel off some kids. Again, I think young boys are very susceptible to capitalism, basically, to learning about capitalism and feeling like that's survival of the fittest and that markets will decide everything.
Yeah, in third grade, if you tell the most popular boy in class that this is all down to his own like grit and determination, then I think he's going to run with that.
Yes. Yeah. We believe that students deserve a balanced presentation of content, District Superintendent Kramer said when asked if the school condone use of PragerU materials. We support our educators in using a variety of instructional tools and materials. We expect our educators to exercise good judgment and trust our students, parents, and community to engage our staff in conversations about our instructional methods and the materials being used if they feel the need to do so. The incident, he said, has led to an internal conversations focused on ensuring we are presenting content through a wide variety of balanced materials.
It's even, I mean, like the in the middle of the night when I want to make political change and I feel absolutely hopeless of doing so, I oftentimes remind myself that, like, if any left-wing organization gets strong enough to make change, they get murdered.
Yes. Yeah. You're totally fucking right about that. You know,
you can't run your mouth. You can't get serious. You can't get too serious on the left because the government will fucking murder you for it. And the people that, and there's going to be a PragerU person, you know, getting extra time in class because these leftists were making a big hubbub and before they got murdered.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then 50 years down the road, they were like, oh, actually, that was a good person. We shouldn't have killed them. Right. You know, they always come back to it because we're always right in the end. Yeah. You know, every time. In the end, we're looked down upon better. So that's a sad story. Now I'm going to do a little thing that I think could be a little bit fun for us, Brett.
Okay.
Because we haven't done...
I need more than a little bit.
No, I'm going to give you just a little bit.
No, I need
fun.
a lot of bit of fun.
So I'm going to play a little music here.
Oh, let me get mine.
And we're going to get in here and we're going to talk about some shit, you know. We're going to
What do you got? Ooh, entertainment tonight.
We got some entertainment news this week. We never do this. Right?
We're doing entertainment news?
A little bit of entertainment news from the boys.
Hot topics.
Hot topics and entertainment and celeb news.
Wow.
We'll fade that out a little. All right. And let's move into the first story. And this is about Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Oh, God. I think I saw this.
Yeah, military flyovers can be awe-inspiring to watch and are practically tradition at many sporting events. But you can count on broadcasters. You can count broadcasters Troy Aikman and Joe Buck among those seemingly not impressed with them. The pair are in hot water after a hot mic picked them up, apparently criticizing and mocking the display of jets flying over Raymond James Studio in Tampa prior to the Green Bay Packers Tampa Bay Buccaneers game on Sunday.
Just to catch everybody up, Troy Aikman, quarterback of the Cowboys from like the legendary team back in the 90s.
Very square-jawed man.
Very
handsome.
Just pinnacle of football player looks.
Yeah, he does. He looks like what I think Johnny Unitas looks like, but I don't know what Johnny Unitas looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like a full color version of Johnny Unitas.
My dude is as American as an American could be.
Yes.
And that's really what we're getting at.
When he smiles, it should be a Ford truck in his grill.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has American flag colored eyes.
Yes.
His eyes are just flags, the pupils.
Joe Buck, also, I don't know him. I just know people hate him, and I have an affinity for him because I know he likes to say stuff, I think, to make people mad.
Well, Joe Buck is a baseball commentator and football commentator. His dad is was a legendary one, and he died. And people generally hate Joe Buck because he's got kind of a snide way of talking, it sounds like, and because he has, we all assume he got the job from his dad, which chances are he got the job.
No, that's the easiest way to get a job. I watched a racing documentary recently, and they were like, Carlos Sainz Jr. is driving a McLaren Formula One car. His father, Carlos Sainz, is a legendary race car driver. Yeah, it's like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We got to make our, you know what? I'm looking at my daughter. I'm looking at your daughter. They just got to do podcasting.
I know. That's all they can do.
they're going to try to do anything else, but they know how to talk shit. They've heard us complain and talk and bloviate for long enough. That's what they're going to do.
They can do comedy too.
It's so easy to just take that path. Like, why, if your dad's a race car driver, it's like, I'll just do race cars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go punch a clock anywhere else. I'm just going to drive race cars.
They have a setup already. Our daughters have a setup, a studio. They got a TV studio, for Christ's sake. Like, they can already just do it.
You're at the dinner table, you're Joe Buck, you have a drumstick in your hand, you're like, hi, this is Joe Buck coming to you with the world-class finals. This week we've got a big lineup, and you're just practicing in front of your fucking dad. He's like, yeah, do that. Then you just be a chair jockey your entire life.
Yeah, you don't have to go to a real job.
No.
If you figure that out. So this is what Aikman
Are you going to play it?
I can play it. Yeah.
It or play
Let's
it?
play it.
I love I did watch the video. I know this one this week. It sometimes I just shy away from the internet, but I checked in and this video was there and it was like 15 seconds of joy, and that was just made me happy and I was able to leave.
Let's hear these guys talk.
That's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover. That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work.
I love that he did it in announcer voice.
He's joking around. They think they're cut off.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's fucking having a good time. It's funny, man. Like, you have to have those, like, you know, these people know what they're doing at the end of the day. I think that's what makes them mad, and that's what we've, like, kind of tapped into with our show and with Twitter and everything, is, like, these people know they're working for the wrong things. They know that they're doing, like, evil shit, but, you know, they just have to laugh about it.
Well, and it's also true that, like, this is an astounding waste of money.
Yes.
Nobody gives a shit about it.
He does it. That's it. Like, we see it once a year when a Twitter person makes a commentary about it. He goes to every single game and watch them drive a jet. And then at the end of the night, he's having a glass of fucking brandy. And he's like, you know what? They probably burned like a few thousand pounds of fuel today. Like, did they need to do that or not?
Yeah, it's very funny to think about, like, these guys even being out on it, you know? And also, I think I think everybody's out. I mean, I think that, like, if you went and asked 100 people, 99 of them would probably say, yeah, we should do the flyovers. But if you then didn't do the flyovers ever again, nobody would give a shit. Nobody would call and nobody would say anything.
Yeah. It would be one guy just saying, remember they used to do flyovers?
Yeah. Yeah, there's more.
That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden today. I'll tell you that right now, partner.
I don't know now.
Partner.
I don't know. I gotta look at the article though, because, like, I'm trying to even figure out if Troy Aikman if that was a shoot with Troy Aikman. You know, what was Troy Aikman talking?
It's a funny joke. I think it's trying to. I mean, like, you know, in regular life, not for the people that are this deep. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris ticket is a hippy dippy ticket. It's a Black Lives Matter ticket. You know, they think they're just saying, like, you're not going to be able to burn all this gas with the hippies in charge. Yeah. But is Troy Aikman a guy that, like, is worried about that? You know, he's just joking around with Joe Buck. You know, is Troy Aikman a Biden voter or a Trump voter? I think he's a guy that likes to burn gasoline, and he knows that things will be different based upon how the vote goes.
So you think he's a Trump voter? He'll never say it because he's on football. Sure. You can't do that if you're on football. I mean, he's probably already in trouble for saying it because he's on football. You can't do political opinions on football.
Right.
That's just, they don't want that there. They've had enough of politics after calling Kaepernick, you know? It's unclear whether Aikman and Buck are against the flyovers or are mocking critics who oppose them. Fox Sports did not immediately respond to a request for comment from CNN. That's also a good point. Joe Buck could have also been mocking people that are against them, but I would lean more towards he's mocking the jet fuel. But that's an interesting wrinkle in the entertainment story. Here, let me...
And I'm going to say this, just because me and you, you know, for a lot of people, tax season was earlier this year. But for those of us that have to make payments on our taxes, we push it until the very end. And October 15th was the last tax day for people that owe. And I think that, like, Troy Aikman is a person that owes and that feels every single time they pay their taxes, you know, and they know what it's going for.
Oh,
Like I feel I don't know. I think for me, it's there's a point where you think that someone gets to a level of celebrity or success or something and they're so insulated. But I think that it really humanizes them in a way to understand that they, in the deep back part of their mind, are regular from the dirt people that know this is all silly and stupid, even if that's how they butter their bread.
right. They know it's goofy, at least,
Yeah.
that they're flying jets
They're-
over football games.
There are people that are in charge of a couple $100,000, and they're like, if I had a couple $100,000, I wouldn't spend it on fuel for a fucking airplane to drive by. It's not the game. You know, it's not worth it. And it is propaganda. I don't know. I doubt they were making like a barb at propaganda, but they are just part of they are part of society that has been inundated with flyover after flyover after flyover. And once you get to your 100th flyover, you're like, I mean, I've seen planes before, you know, like who am I? Am I 8? Like, am I a 5-year-old? Like the game has been so dumbed down where they do everything to not make it about the game. They do dances, t-shirts, prizes, everything else except for the fucking game. They just want, they have a rib shack there. They have an oyster bar. They have a dance club. They have a Victoria's Secret. Like, all of these stadiums have become places for anything but the game. These are people that just want to watch fucking football. And getting in the way of that is a gigantic military procession every single time.
Right. So the military is like, flyovers at community events are flown in conjunction with pre-scheduled training missions or other skills training missions
Bullshit.
at no additional cost to the
No.
government. The truth is, though,
That's not true. That
it costs money.
Yeah, it came out years ago. They said that the NFL was spending almost $1 million or more on having military fucking ceremonies at their fucking events.
Right. And I just don't think I care if the military, like, I don't think, first of all, I think this happened because of the nurses thing, right? When the nurses were asking for PPE, we were asking for any help under COVID, and we still are. We're begging for help. And a jet flew, they did flyovers instead. And this is where this came from, where people are like, okay, you don't have to fly over in a fucking fighter jet. We're
Right.
not 4-year-olds, you know, send us money. We need help. The fucking communities are dying.
Yeah.
You know?
The businesses around here are closing. People are desperate as hell. People are getting stabbed around me all the time. I don't need a show of military might to make me feel good at night.
Yeah. They were only at 25% capacity anyway. So they flew those jets over for
nobody.
a couple thousand people,
Yeah.
maybe, which is ridiculous. You know, stop it with the jets.
This is where I want, man, like, I really would love to have them go sit in a chair and just have to do a podcast. It's weird that, like, podcasting became a big thing, but mainstream media shied away from 90-minute conversations. And that I would love to hear them try to fight their way out of this situation.
Me too.
I just want them to say, like, you know, I don't feel like we need to do this every time. I don't know what it's doing. It feels like the earth is dying and like burning fuel to do this is not important. You know, like I'm having all of these feelings. I would love to know what Troy Aikman and Joe Buck's feelings are more than anything.
I mean, I think one thing that makes me feel good about this is that, like, it is very, I mean, for them, it's probably a really rough time because if you say anything cross toward the military, it's not fun.
That's not the place. I mean, you only make it there because you don't do stuff like this.
Yeah.
They thought their mics, they were having fun. Like they were doing what we all want to do, which is get a break from work and making a crass, uncouth, cynical joke.
I mean, I don't even
on
think
the
it's
job.
crass, uncouth, or cynical. I don't think the joke is cynical.
Yeah,
or
but that's
crass.
because we're all those things.
Right, I understand, but the joke really is true. You know, it's like, why are we doing this? It's really a question of, like, why is this happening? What's the point of this? What is to be gained from a military flyover? Nothing.
Yeah, but
Nothing.
but now management is mad that you're opening up cans of worms. Like you're asking questions, you're creating problems. You were just supposed to do the show. Now you've created a problem.
You think these guys get suspended or something?
Somebody in the chat said that Troy Aikman had to go on the news and apologize and say he respects America and stuff.
Ew, what? They were fucking around.
Oh,
They weren't being sarcastic. They were
They know what's what.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what the deal is. They aren't NPCs. They are conscious actors. You know, like they are moving in a part of the world that gives them a lot of comfort and success and all of these things. But at the same time, they understand the costs in a way.
Right.
They've at least thought about it.
Yeah.
In a way,
I mean, I know that
jokes.
I know that both of those guys probably are worried about their jobs at this point. I think, you know, they're both guys that'll land on their feet. Like, it's not like they don't have anything, but like those guys all work on like endorsements and like just being as middle of the road, boring as possible. But I think that shows how the middle of the road has moved in this kind of direction, to just be like, we're fed up with this shit. We're fed up with the military shit. We're fed up with the fucking cop shit. We're fed up with all of this stuff. Just fucking help people. We're tired of killing people. I do feel like that, like the window's moving over to maybe people being a little less, I don't know. It feels, I guess I feel like we live in the world I grew up in and not the world that like happened after 9/11. We live in the world where people are like, fuck the army. You know what I mean? I ain't joining the army. That's fucking dumb. Yeah. You know? So I'm here. We'll play a little bit more of the theme music here. And I got another story. And you know, I just like this song. Yeah. This is the 80s version. All right.
Give it to us.
The next celebrity story. Serj Tankian admits it's frustrating being politically opposite to System of a Down drummer John Dolmayan.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
System of a Down frontman Serj Tankian has spoken of his frustration at being politically opposite to the band's drummer John Dolmayan. Dolmayan has praised Donald Trump publicly on a number of occasions in recent months, saying that Trump is the most attacked president in history, yet the greatest friend to minorities back in June. He also criticized Democratic Party and Black Lives Matter movement in July, saying that the latter never wanted legitimacy and that it serves as a propaganda tool for the Democrats.
All right. Well, I would kick them out of the band.
I would kick him out.
Are there people there too? Like, I think that
he's the drummer though, and the drums in System of a Down are kick ass.
Maybe, I guess, yeah.
Eating seed, that song where it's like and Toxicity, those drums are tight. But there's more to this. I'm not just let's speaking to Forbes in a new interview, Tankian said that he finds it frustrating that Dolmayan, who is also his brother-in-law, holds such different political views to his own.
God damn it. This is a bad idea from the start.
Yeah, this is a whole mess.
I'm thinking, like, if I'm in a band and we have different points of view, just go separate ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just not... You could teach instruments. There's so many ways to turn former member of System of a Down into a regular paycheck.
Yeah, but I mean... These bands that are this old, a couple decades old, right? I don't think it's as easy as just kicking somebody out of the band. I mean, I know that bands do it.
Yeah.
But fans don't. Fans sometimes are a little finicky about that sort of thing, you know? If they kick out the drummer, you know, some fans could get very mad about that. Now, I would say that most... I can't even say that because I feel like System of a Down is in the Rage Against the Machine boat, and that like most people don't get their politics anyway. You know, like Paul Ryan could be a System of a Down fan.
Yeah.
And not really know what their politics are saying. And them even more than Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine says the words out loud, clear as day, so that you can understand what they're saying, and people still don't get it.
I mean, I think that System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine, both bands that very much sang music that was fighting against oppression, was pushing against like an authoritarian agenda and trying to make themselves heard and to spread the story of these marginalized voices. But you're right, conservatives consider themselves marginalized voices. Like,
right, if you hear,
they think that like they really are like, I'm not allowed to. If I say I'm a Christian, people don't just immediately say so am I. That's bullshit.
Right, you could see yourself being a conservative who's like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
But in that
because
song,
we're saying like worship Satan and have fun, and they're like, no, I won't have fun.
Yeah. yeah.
No, I do the Lord's path. I won't do anything for joy.
Yeah. But I think Rage Against the Machine is a lot more clear about where they're at, because some of those that run forces are the same that burn crosses. It's pretty hard to misinterpret.
Right.
To me. System of a Down, though.
They're trying to build a prison for you and me.
True.
Every single person from every walk of life. There's like really the only reason that someone isn't a System of a Down fan is they haven't heard System of a Down yet.
That's true.
Once they hear they're trying to build a prison for you and me, it comes clear. Like you all feel like someone's trying, like we all feel that way.
You don't feel like a conservative could willfully, blindly have that viewpoint too, though?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying everyone feels that way. I feel that I'm trying to be put in a prison because the world actually does put people like me in a prison for breaking the law. They also, like, that's really it makes me throw my hands in the air. I don't know what you can do with somebody that's like, they're going to throw me in jail for loving America, being Christian, and being straight. It's like, you have everything. I don't know why you think that you're in trouble.
I think the thing that even confuses me more is that, like, Serge, his brother-in-law, his drummer, like, they haven't had conversations with each other to, like, discuss this stuff, and Serge can't, like, move him on these issues.
I would have made him, like, here's what I would have done. I would have hit you on the chest. I would have been like, dog, I'm going to make him so mad tonight, he's going to quit the band. And I would do that every single weekend until he quit the band.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the goal. There would be no niceties. I don't know how you can keep someone like this around. You just have to go to the extreme until they're uncomfortable.
It's like a picture I took this weekend when I was out taking a walk with my wife.
Oh my God, I saw this bullshit.
Okay. So there's this picture, there's this house that's like 2 or 3 blocks away from me. And it was basically had a Biden sign. It had the Biden nope sign with the hair on the word no.
That's not a Biden sign. It's just a nope sign.
But it says Biden Harris at the
does
bottom
it?
of
Oh,
yeah, it's a Biden sign. You buy it from their website.
Oh, I didn't know.
Biden has a lot of stuff on their website that doesn't say
without
Biden.
his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some of you aren't comfortable saying my name. Sure. Whatever you want.
Yeah,
Buy Don instead.
So then, like, as I'm walking, I notice there's a Trump sign there too. So then I noticed that there is a very wordy sign.
So there's 4 signs. How many signs?
5 signs.
5 signs in front of this house.
There's one in the middle of those signs.
There's a Biden Harris and a Biden on one side, and then what's on the other side?
There is a Trump sign, and I'm trying to find the picture of the. Oh, here it is. There's a sign. The husband spent more money on his signs, I'm gonna say.
Not money, time.
Well, I mean,
aren't they handwritten?
No, these are printed out. He got this from a sign store.
Oh, God.
I'm fairly certain. I mean, unless he owns the sign store, I do live in a neighborhood where that's possible.
Sure.
America does not need to see the tax return of a billionaire who became a public servant. America needs to see the tax return of a public servants who became millionaires while being public servants. Gee, can you use public servants a few more times? But then in the middle of those 4 signs, there's one that says wife and husband, and that's in the handwriting. And there's signs pointing pointing
Arrows.
there's arrows pointing to the other signs. And that's what this reminds me of, that in a way, where I think about, like, how do you live with somebody that has totally opposite values of you? Or was this a thing that happened over time? Was this a thing that happened, like, I don't know though, man. If my wife started to change in that way, I would question what I'm doing there. You know what I mean? Just, it's hard to say, but it's like, I would really question her values at that point, and if they align with my values. And that's my wife, you know? This is a drummer and brother-in-law.
Yes, that's a lot. But I don't think that a Trump and a Biden voter should be living together and be in a relationship. You should be there's no way that that's a happy household. There's just it's making the wrong pieces fit. I don't respect the right of Trump people to live how they do, and I don't want to crush them. But I think that they should all be miserable with each other. There's no reason for any of us to giving them any sort of love or support or attention or trying to rehabilitate them. Like, they need to be gross, disgusting, miserable fucking assholes on their own.
So as far as
I would divorce. Like, the thing, Erica is not tied in. Like, really, I am too tied into everything. And the thing I do love about my wife is she is not connected to all of that stuff. But if I ever catch her up on any sort of issue, if I ever explain to her what the scuttlebutt of the day is, she ultimately says, why not give everybody money?
Yeah.
Or why not give everything for free? Or what about all these rich assholes that have all the money? Why don't they pay to change this?
Yeah.
Like, that is something I can rely on her to never say, like, we all make our own bed, or like, you know, we got to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. It's like, that's not it.
Yeah, and it's difficult for me to understand how. I mean, and that's the thing with this is, like, maybe what happened here is that with the house, at the very least, not System of a Down is a whole different thing, right? Or it could also be the same thing. It's like, maybe what happens is both were voting for Trump in that house, right?
Okay.
In the husband-wife house. Both voted for Trump in 2016, and then he handled COVID the way he did. And the wife watched and decided she would make the switch because, I mean, at the very least, when you look at this election, we know what we're going to get from Trump on COVID, you know? And that's
take anything else.
Really, yeah, I would take anybody else at all. I would take anything to just somebody trying at all. Period.
Yeah. Joe Biden has so much momentum going in that we've done the miles with Trump. We've gone around the track for 4 years with him. We know what it's going to be like, and I do think that it's just like anything but this would be a fucking great change of pace.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not. You know, I don't know what Biden's going to do. I mean, I just hope that, like, maybe for COVID, he gets some experts and maybe figures out a clear roadmap out of this instead of saying, like, no, everything's fine. It's great. Look how cured I am.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Bummer about System of a Down, though. Tankian said, but so he's Armenian. He's my brother-in-law and my drummer. Is it frustrating being politically opposite to your own drummer and brother-in-law? Fuck yeah, of course it's frustrating, he said. But that's having to do with American politics. When it comes to Armenian issues, we're on the exact same page, he added. We know what injustice is happening. We work together. We're doing different auction activities and working together on many fronts. The Armenian nation is united, whether you voted for Republican or Democrat or neither, but you live in the United States.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't understand how you go and perform music with somebody like that and you don't have an understanding of what it's about.
Yeah. So here's what Dalmayan said. Okay. If you think that this is such a conservative thing, this is so the illustration between us and them. If you think that Serge is the mouthpiece of the band, which he is as far as vocally, but not necessarily for ideology, then you have nowhere to go, he said. And it's like, fuck you, dude. Fuck it. That is a dick way to answer the, like, did you hear how Serge answered the question? This is the problem with liberals versus conservatives, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Sad. It's just sad, really. That's all. It just System of a Down. We love you. I got one more thing here. This
For
is
Entertainment Tonight.
Kind of. We can play. Well, we're not going to play the song again because this guy's not a celeb.
I do understand what you're saying. Like the Armenian thing is it's a very important issue right now. But also, I would think that you would take some sort of care and consideration to the oppressed people or people on the other side of history. I feel I don't know, like the drummer should maybe think about who he's standing up for.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, I mean, it would be, I wonder what kind of conversations happen between the two of them.
It seems like none.
Yeah. It does.
That's the problem, is that, once again, I feel like it needs to be one or the other. Just pick. As a fan, like, I'll decide. If they decide the drummer's going to be the new leader of the band and kick Serge out, I'm okay with it.
I don't think that works, though.
Right.
That's the thing about being a drummer, though, right? You can't kick him out. I agree with that.
But that's the thing about being conservative, is that you can always guarantee your place, is that even though you're unlikable and no one wants to be around you, you can demand representation.
Yes. Yeah.
Nothing about you is productive or helpful or like a benefit to the world, but you can demand representation. And that's what they do. Like, that's what they do, is they abuse their right to representation.
Yeah.
That's what conservatives do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brett, you hit me to something earlier in the week. Let's go a different direction here. So something I've been thinking about lately is sales, right?
Okay.
I've been thinking a lot about sales, and I've been thinking a lot about car sales specifically, because that, to me, is my weakest spot, really, when it comes to, like, when I go to buy a car, I get in there, and I'm immediately intimidated by the car salesman.
Yeah.
And so...
You got to prep for it.
Yeah. So something I've been checking out lately are car sales training for beginners videos.
Really?
And you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get the car salesman mindset, Brett.
For what?
I feel like it would help me in life to have the car salesman mindset. They're confident. They get what they want.
Yeah.
They do whatever it takes to get the things that they need, which is to sell cars.
Force someone into a bad deal or into debt.
Yes. So I thought, what would be a good, fun thing to do for the show? It's car sales training for beginners by Tony Swedberg.
Okay.
From Twitter. Brett, you can see him.
He looks confident. He looks like an asshole.
Oh, I mean, does he ever? He looks like a car salesman.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can describe him here, but he's got like a tight fade.
Chin strap beard, and eyebrows manicured. Just intense, regular looking brown haired male that is going to dominate the fuck out of you.
He is.
Confident for no reason, pride in everything that he didn't work for. But yeah, I mean, these type of people are, they're tough.
Sales are tough, dude. And I'm fascinated with sales. That's what with the listeners.
Bullies.
For the listeners, I'm fascinated with salespeople. Fascinated. I tend to feel that not enough salespeople call the call-in show for us, because I can talk to them all day.
Yeah, we do show for people with hearts. Like, sales is like, you have to be like a heartless person.
We got listeners that do sales.
I know we do.
We gotta have a ton of listeners that are into
sure
sales.
People that like money, but still, like, it really takes a toll on you. It is. I mean,
There's
you've
no way
done
to
it.
do it. There's no way to do it without like bullying somebody. From time, a lot of times you are like talking to somebody that's like, "Hey, I want your product and I want to do a deal. Let's hash out the prices and stuff." But other times you're just somebody's like, I don't know if I want this," and you're like, "I mean, this will change your life for the better." And you're just talking them into getting their credit card numbers out. And sometimes they even like won't do it the first time. They're like, "I'm not sure I want to do this yet." And you're like, "Well, let's think it through. Like, I'm going to make you money. I'm going to do this and that." Like I've said, I think that products should sell themselves. And most of the ones that require salespeople aren't worth a goddamn because they have to pay somebody to convince you to buy it.
Yeah, it's cars though. When it comes
Cars
to
aren't worth it. Every single deal they send, if you go to the car dealership, you get a bad deal every time. There's no good
That's
deal.
true.
No one's
I've
ever
never
got a good
gotten
deal.
a good one. Yeah.
You pay $10,000 more than what the fuck you signed up for.
Yeah. So let's check out Tony Swedberg. The thing about these things, I've watched a million of these videos now. These guys are so aggressive. It is unsettling.
It's fun
to watch them.
Dude, being on the other side of it, and like if you're somebody that likes to push boundaries and there's a person that's having like an emotional moment in front of you and you decide to puncture through with that and say like, getting yourself in a new Volkswagen Jetta will solve all those problems.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's
Like,
also
it was funny for me to be inappropriate when I did sales.
I don't know, man. Like, these guys make me very nervous when I'm around them. And I do feel like they take over. Like it's like they're hitting me almost. Like just hitting me with a newspaper on the head the whole time we're in the situation.
Every time you think about not signing on the dotted line, they redirect you.
Yeah. So let's check this guy out. This should be good.
Tony Swedberg here with the best car sales training for beginners.
Okay, Tony.
Fuck, I hate this guy.
All
He
these
looks like
have
the-
this music too. Every one of them has this exact music. I don't know why this is sales music. This is
free.
Well, I know it's free, but why does it all have... You can also get like a free version of Bad to the Bone.
Because if you go to ccmixter.org, you can get like free audio, free rights or whatever.
Right.
The news, there's so many reusable YouTube clips too.
But they don't have like guitar music,
No.
They don't have like
Computer. This is all-
something that sounds... anything that sounds different than this.
Hey, this is some based ass sales we're about to do.
Yeah, here comes Tony Swedberg, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today, this is
God,
going to
this
be for
pause it.
beginners. I've been talking.
This looks like my motherfucking assistant ass manager named Herb Wheeler that did nothing at the job except steal from them constantly.
Yeah.
But he also insisted that like he was working on his way of getting to the top.
Yeah.
Like, he was always trying to give me advice on how to be assistant manager, and I'm like, I don't want to be assistant manager of this fucking toy store, Herb.
This is every super confident guy that has 5 things happening in the future.
Yes.
That are not quantifiable yet.
This is your team lead that's like, oh no, we're just built different. I mean, you look at the phones, you think it's a challenge. I look at the phones, I think it's a paycheck.
About a lot of stuff that excites me, but sometimes, you know, you guys are new, you're commenting, hey, it's my first week and I'm already teaching you about like interest rates and everything like that.
Oh.
So this video is going to concentrate for beginners, okay?
Thank
and
you,
this is
Tony.
Also for people who are just
This video is
you know,
going
in
to
a slump.
concentrate for beginners.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been
Of
selling
course.
cars for a while, and it's a reminder to you guys as well. So make sure to subscribe.
Collared shirt too. These guys
You have to.
These guys put on like the uncomfortable, scratchy collared shirts. Like car dealerships have the worst uniforms of all. Like I like a suit, but a lot of them are just guys in like a shirt that says Kia on it, like an Izod, but it's Kia. You know?
Yeah, that Men's Warehouse ass lifestyle where you pay $99 for 2 suits.
Yeah.
That's gone away. You can't just get away with a dress shirt now. When I bought my Kia, though, I talked to the guy a little bit because we were hanging out all goddamn day because we were buying a car, and he was just doing on commission. He was like an appointment setter.
Oof.
Like he was basically just supposed to go talk to people that were interested in cars, and then once he got us
ready to sign on the line, he passed us on to somebody else. So he was getting paid per appointment, but also going to work. He was going to he was a contractor that was also convincing us to buy a car, but not reaping any of the benefits of selling us a car.
I wonder what kind of money that is. Appointment setter is not probably great.
It's a write your own paycheck job, man. Any of these, hey, if you're not making money, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You know, we're making money. Here, I'm selling a business program and I'm doing fine. I don't know what your problem is trying to sell cars.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm Tony Snedberg.
Tony Swedberg.
If this is your first time. So as a beginner, you're going to be put-
Just gulped. As a beginner, don't cut that out.
He looks so country.
I know.
He just looks like such a suburban ass motherfucking piece of shit.
He does. He has a nice house that's like 2 feet away from the house next to him. And he's always mad at the neighbor because his tree gets... Somebody told me this online the other day, that they have a neighbor and the tree in their yard, our guy's yard, goes over into the other yard.
Yes.
And it gets leaves in the other yard. And the person said, you know, it only costs $300 to get that thing trimmed. It's like, fuck you. I don't care about the leaves.
Yeah, this looks like somebody that buys like a $120,000 house 90 minutes away from town.
Yes.
And that's like, I'm living the dream, man. It's like you're doing 3 hours of commute every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're working 12 hours.
And you work 12 hours and you drive 3 hours. Do you have a life?
This reminds me of the dude that was bragging about his grass to me one time. Like, I was sitting in the grass at his house, and he's like, you like that grass?
It's
lush.
Nice
grass.
It's like a carpet. It's like outdoor carpet.
They originally brought the wrong grass, but I made them bring the right grass. So that's pretty nice, huh? It's like, I don't give a fuck about grass.
Yeah, only grass I'm interested in the one you smoke.
Yeah.
put outside. You're going to wait for somebody to pull in, and you're going to, talk to them and try to sell them a car, right?
Yeah.
Well, you need to know two things that are very important.
Okay, here it comes.
How to sell something is by building emotion. That image of what you're going to look like in the car, and, maybe you're 21 buying a nice car and you're the man.
Buying a nice car, that image in the car and buying a nice car.
Yeah, I had a nice car when I was 20 and it got repoed.
Yeah, I've had a few of those.
I had a salesman that saw me coming from a mile away, was excited to see me and signed me up for a death sentence.
Yeah. You look good in it. That's
how nice you would look in this car?
You buy on emotion. You buy a car on emotion, okay?
And you're going to look like the man at school, whatever that is. That image builds emotion, which sells the vehicle. That's what people buy with, is emotion, okay? So not logic, and does it have that feature? Does it have a bunch of trunk space or price? That's logic. Okay.
I've never heard somebody argue against, like a guy like this argue against logic, though. These are always logic guys, too. Flawed logic, extremely flawed logic, but logic guys.
Well, you know what I want to say? Chrome Girl in the chat wrote, "The feel of the wheel seals the deal."
Oh, I've never heard that. But boy, is that a right. That Chrome Girl, that's exactly right.
But I also think that when it comes to selling cars, man, you are just trying to get them to take the car that you have right now. Like, they're never going to, there's never enough data, there's never enough information we can have to make the right deal. It's just whether someone is like, you can have this one right now if you just do it right now.
That's how I always feel.
You came here, you wanted to, you're hemming and hawing, you're around here and looking, you are asking to get a car. We found one. Take it, please.
Right. When I get out on the lot, I never feel like the whole lot is open to me. I feel like I'm being pushed towards a car, a core.
Okay, emotion. When someone's excited, they buy. Okay, so that's one thing that you guys need to know.
Okay.
So we're going to build emotion in the process, and we're going to assume the sale. Okay, so
assume the sale. That's what gets Brian Quinby. That's how you sell me something. Is the assumption of the sale, because I then become, I don't want a confrontation here.
Right. Yeah. So you're there, you're driving in the car, and then this person is like, well, it's 6 right now, and 6:45 we'll be signing the paperwork for this brand new car, and then we'll probably have you out here by 7:30, and you're like, go.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't. I guess I can't do anything else except for do that.
I don't know how to get out of here.
But they get that. Like doing sales. Like there's selling to people. There's the people that know what's up and that are coming in, and then there is just like forcing people to buy something today. There's just like shaking. A lot of people want to be shaken and just say like, buy something right now.
Yeah.
Just pick. You want something, pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All a sale looks like, and I'm going to walk you guys through it.
Okay.
Is, hey guys, what brings you in today? Great.
That's all it takes.
That is what they always say. What brings you in today?
Well, hopefully not talking to you.
Yeah, please go away. I always run away. They always have to talk to my wife because I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm any better to talk to, you know? Like
You're not, because you won't talk.
Right. I mean, if they got me and I didn't just pawn it off on my wife, then what difference does it make other than my wife has to deal with it, you know? But I always feel like, well, maybe my wife will be like, fuck you, you know, I'm out of here. Yeah, maybe she'll be a hard ass because I know I'm not going to be a hard ass, you know?
Yeah, your wife's not going to be a hard ass.
Who's the car for?
No.
Oh, are you excited? Awesome. Walk them over, say, yep, our SUVs or that car's over here. You walk them over to the car and ask them a few questions. So,
okay.
What kind of features does your car have? So whatever features their car has, you don't want to talk about.
Okay. You ask them, but then when they say, you just kind of ignore that. You're like,
we're not talking about that shit.
Oh, this red one over here is nice.
Yeah, we're not talking about that shit now.
No, what are you doing? You're talking about the old shit. We're talking about new shit right now.
I've moved past that already. We're going to the next part.
Yeah, what are you doing? God, you look so bad right now.
Okay, you know they have backup camera and Bluetooth, so don't bring up the backup camera and Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
So if you bring that up,
Bluetooth.
then you know that stuff they already have. It's not going to build emotion.
Okay.
You want to bring up Apple CarPlay, or it has a sunroof. Maybe something that builds emotion, but don't oversell.
Do those things build emotion in people? The sunroof and the Apple CarPlay? Oh, I'm emotional. That's the other thing that's bad about me when I try to buy a car is like I do only care about the stereo.
Sure.
Like, they get me in the car. They're like, this thing's got a fucking 3.8 liter V6 in it. And it fucking gets this many miles to the gallon. And I'm like, how's my phone hooked up to it so I can play music real loud in it? That's what I'm thinking about right now currently, you know?
Yeah.
Sunroof. I like sunroofs, but I haven't had one in years. But I like them.
Well, I would say I have a moon roof right now.
Okay.
And
Same
going
thing.
backwards is not something I want to do.
Oh, so you're just like, it's either a convertible or another moonroof.
Well, there just has to be some sort of, I have to be able to see what's up there.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't even know what the use of them is. Like, I could never figure out why I liked having, because we had a sunroof in our 200SX. Extremely street fight car. I'm just gonna let you know that thing was a piece of shit.
I had a 240.
You did?
Yeah.
I had a 200SX. I had a Nissan 200SX, and it was a boy, did I spend a lot of money on that one getting it fixed. Although people were like, when I bought it, they were like, it's a Nissan, it'll run forever, and I was like,
not this one.
Not if I don't take care of it.
Sell. Ask them, maybe what color they're looking for, and say, "Hey guys, do you like the way this one looks?" Great. So you listen
This guy's
to them
full of
first,
electricity.
Listen to exactly what they want, because a lot of
What
the
is-
times I'll
like,
make
imagine-
videos, and you guys are like, "Oh, it's my first week," and I see a lot of people are new in the business, and I'm telling you like the most advanced stuff,
What?
like closing deals.
Because he's offering nothing.
I love this guy. Now, a lot of people be like, hey, I want to know something, but I'm telling them the most advanced stuff. I'm playing 12th dimensional chess, and a lot of these people aren't even playing checkers, you know? I'm fucking up here, and my brain works great, you know? If you're not selling cars, it's because you don't know me, you know? Tony Swedberg.
He's really, this is just so many platitudes.
I know, it rules.
It's just, it makes me mad that people like this don't ever have to pay.
No.
like, he should pay for these lies.
Yeah.
For the thousands of people that are pulling up this YouTube video that are like, why won't someone take this bad deal on this car I'm trying to force on them? He deserves punishment.
Right. The thing about it is like all these videos.
You have to be a bad person to sell cars. That's the answer.
The thing about car
ugly
sales
inside.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, I watch a lot of sales type videos and stuff like that as prep for the show sometimes, just to see if there's something in them that I can find. And like all the guys are like this guy. Yeah. This is what sales is. It's nasty. It's just, it really feels like
everyone's lemmings.
Nastiness.
It
Yeah,
is.
you're fucking the puppet master over us.
You think everybody else is stupid and can be psychologically manipulated into getting money from them. And the more money you extract, the more money you get. And like the grosser you get on the inside.
Yeah. I wish there was another. I mean, I wish we could just get rid of cars. But I wish there was another
the deal
way.
Is bad. It's just always a bad deal. Like,
yeah.
They just are setting you up to go through hell. You're going to pay 1.5 times for the thing that they're trying to sell you. And they're lying the entire time.
And whatever you want, like you're not going to get. When I walk into a dealership, I almost never walk out with the car that I wanted.
No.
And I never walk out with the payment I wanted.
No.
You know? You go in there and I'm like, I don't want to pay more than $300, and I leave and I'm paying $350, you know?
Yeah, I remember when we bought the van, the guy saying something like hey, we go, you got to buy it this weekend though, because there's a new rate. And I did the math in front of him. And I'm like, it's going to cost me $4,000 extra to take this rate right now. Why would I do that? Like, what are you going to do about that? And they're like, he was just like, I don't know. This is a really big deal right now. You got to take this big deal. And I'm like, you're not on my side. You're on your side.
Yeah, absolutely.
You only see things like I see myself losing money in this fucking deal.
Yeah.
We're not on the same team here.
Yeah.
And finance stuff, and you can't even make it that far. So if I was to listen to you guys and read all my comments, then I can make the perfect video. If that makes sense. And that's what you guys want to do. You want to listen and then find the perfect car. Once you guys find the perfect car, you guys are good. I'm going to go run and grab the keys, and then you run and grab the keys. Can I get you guys some water? You bring it back.
This guy is going through the steps, like really as in like
he's like, it's basketball, man. You dribble. You have to dribble for every step you take. You bounce one time, and then you shoot it into the hoop, and you get 2 points.
Back, hand it to them. Don't do a big walk around and sell them on stuff like the trunk space or how big the back seat
don't
is.
do that.
Some of that stuff doesn't build emotion. It feels.
What is this emotion that he's building?
He has no.
He maybe doesn't have. I think you were about to say he has no emotions, and I think that's probably true.
I mean, this looks like the kind of person that buys a clapboard home out in the suburbs and has like a loveless sex life. Like, this guy has no passion.
He's married to somebody he's married to somebody that he barely loves, and he just sits and plays Call of Duty Modern Warfare on his PlayStation 4 all the time. Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like my passion is like stealing the most amount of money from people, and the more time you spend on that, the more money you get. So I've traded in everything else.
Yeah.
And his look, like his just generic ass cookie cutter look and like willing to suck up to fucking management is shining through here.
Right.
Feels like a process, and it feels like you're trying to sell them, especially when you talk too much. When you talk way too much, they're going to be like, like I don't need all this information. So
that's true though. He's right about that. I don't ever want to hear all the information on the car. Never. I don't care. I will never access that information again in my entire life.
You're right. The more that they try to sell me stuff, it builds like this tension inside of me where I'm going to say something negative to crush everything you just said. I'm going to say I'm going to say something to deflate your whole fucking thing.
It's so funny how you're so aggressive. Like
you're so aggressive against them, and I'm just afraid of them. I see them as people to fear.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do this on the show, as I see car salesmen as people to be afraid of, because they're I see them as squirrely.
They're a lot.
You know?
I feel like there's somebody like, this is not okay, I guess, to say for the history of the show. There's someone that you can treat like shit. They're the employee that you can give all the hell you've ever wanted to give. They deserve every single ounce of it. There's somebody that I want to make their job hard. There's somebody that I hate immediately, and that's not my friend. And like, I think my wife is the one that falls into the deal doughy-eyed and starts talking about like all this stuff. And then I step in and are like, you're trying to fuck us right now. And he's like, no, my friend. No.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm not trying to sell you this van with too many miles on it for too much money. No. I'm not trying to get you to sign this weekend. I'm not. No, I'm not. It's
Yeah.
like, you are though. That's
Yeah.
all this is. Like, I'm not going to exchange Christmas cards with you at the end of this.
I mean,
You're
there's
my
money.
enemy.
There's money on the line.
That's what we're doing
to them.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm making you money.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Like, when I went and bought my van the last time, we worked out this whole thing, and then I said to him, I was like, what kind of sucker walks in the door and just pays sticker price? Like, if you're going to charge me sticker price, I'm going to go to other places and see if they'll give me less than that. You're not doing anything special for me.
That's nuts. I would never say that. That would scare me to say.
But that's what it is. That's what's
It's true,
happening.
yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I walked in here and said, I like this van and I want to buy it. And you said, I'll charge you the amount on the price tag. And it's like, that's not what I said. I said, I like this van. I didn't say I want to pay that much.
Yeah.
Just super simple. Listen, land them on a car, go on a test drive. And if you don't know anything about the car, great. Just say, notice how smooth it is?
I like
that. That's good.
That's good.
No, it's good answer.
That's the thing I feel like I can learn from sales guys is like that confidence. I don't have any confidence. I have no self-confidence in this world at all. I'm always feel like I'm wrong. I'm not smart. I'm not good. And then like this guy is like empty-headed. He seems absolutely empty-headed, but he's confident enough to just be like, if you don't know anything, just say, isn't this nice?
Right.
You know?
You're looking at the 99 negative things and he's like, it's smooth in here though. Yeah. It's so smooth.
It doesn't feel like we're driving over any bumps at all.
Are we driving right now? What's going on? This is so comfortable. The cabin noise is minimal.
I hate when you go on a test drive and
I know.
they come with you.
I always want to kick them out.
I know.
Can I leave my license with you, or like my firstborn, or like my best skateboard, or something that means a lot to me because I don't want you in the car?
It's like, oh, you're coming?
Yeah, I want to run the guts out of this thing around the corner and see what it feels like.
If you're coming, I don't really want to do the test drive.
Actually, if you're gonna join along for the test ride, I'm not into this car.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want to do this.
These drive really nice. Okay, and then at the end
It
of
looks
the
like
sale, say, so do
Justified.
you guys have any concerns about this one? Okay, great. So if I get this one in your budget, you guys will take this one, right?
They never get it in your
They
budget,
don't.
though. They always get it $50 more than your budget.
But they
you know?
need to say, if I get you to stretch your budget beyond the limits of what you ever thought it could be, would you take this car right now?
Dude, they get me every time because I always go in and say,
$250, right?
I always say I want to pay $300 or less, and I'd rather pay $250. And it's always $350. It's $350
Yeah, I know, they're
every
like-
time. My car is $350 a month right now, the one I'm driving. And it's always $50 more. They always just get $50 more out of me. And it's like, why can't I just be brave enough to say no and go somewhere else?
Yeah, try to find something
But then my brain, when the process is going on, is like, now I got to sit through all this stuff again. And this is probably the best deal I'm ever going to get. You know?
And that's also the thing about this sales stuff is that once you are on the conveyor belt, it is hard to jump off.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to do some jump offs when we bought our last car, and Erica was not. She was like, please, we can't spend a whole nother day doing this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll jump off. Let's jump off, man.
Yeah.
We got him on the ropes. He will call us next weekend.
I know what we want. I'll go out by myself and do it. Let's
Yeah.
do some jump offs.
Right. But
let's do a jump off.
It's not
I'll
worth
go
it,
with
though.
you next time. I want to go with you next time, and I'll do a jump off with you. I don't care. I got all day. I don't
Get
got
all the
nothing
way
to do.
there.
That's not what I wanted.
It's not like we work all day 5 days a week.
Right.
No skin off my back to waste a day fucking around at a car dealership.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you can just pull in, right next to your car. And then at the end, after, because you guys think that you have to do all this stuff, talk about all this different stuff to sell them. But really, all you have to do is listen, land them on the right car, and then ask for the business. And now I have tons of videos for you guys.
Okay, so that was the whole lesson for beginners. So I guess it's just really, get them emotionally invested in getting a car. And then say, doesn't this drive very nice?
And these platitudes never work. I remember there was a guy that I did sales with that would lie to get sales.
That's a good move, though. That's what I thought doing. That's what I thought you should do when you do sales.
He got rewarded handsomely for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I think of when it comes. Like, what do I got to do to sell this car? Oh, you
That's
lie
what it becomes.
about it. Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff, like when I did sales, after we made the sale, we never had to deal with that customer again.
Yep.
So if you sold them a lemon, you never had to deal with them saying, hey, you fucked me over and screwed up I lost my job because of the car you sold me, and now I'm still making payments on it. You never saw them again.
No.
Like that's how sales works, is that you just lie, get the business, and then other people have to deal with all the problems.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's that thing of like, they sell you something and then you're totally insulated away from them. I use that a lot at the cable company, and that like, if I didn't know how to fix the problem, I would just rig something together and then go away and hope that I never had to go back to that house, because then somebody else would have to go back after me, Right. And that's something that like I tried to do when I worked there. And I know that car dealership guys are like that too, of course.
And this is all, this is like all of these sales videos, they really present this idea that anybody is able to do this. And what they're avoiding is saying is like, you have to be heartless. Like you have to be a soulless person with no blood in your fucking veins to do a lot of this stuff.
It does feel
it drove me nuts. Like doing collections, doing sales, like everybody washes out of this stuff. The ones that make a life out of it are disgusting people.
Well, yeah, I think that there's a way to do sales that maybe isn't super unethical, and that you could probably make a good living out of it. Just like you can grind and make a living out of doing it if you do it ethically and right. But I think that like most people that go into it are like, you can just lie too. Like it's possible to lie.
It's way easier just to tell them what they want to hear and then don't worry about the repercussions later.
Like, I'm sure there are people that listen to this show that work in sales that don't necessarily feel bad about it or lie about it. I think it's direct sales more than anything, which is car dealerships are sort of like direct sales too. Not really, because it doesn't fit the term, but it's like anything where...
It is. That's the person that sells you the car.
Yeah, anything where there's like money to be made from making sure you get out of there with the car, no matter what, is going to lead to probably some sticky ethical situations, I think. Yeah.
It's like if you make the decision to not like pressure someone into signing on the dotted line, you get in trouble. So then they sift through all the applicants to find the person that's willing to push somebody beyond their better judgment to get into a car loan, because then they get numbers on the deal calendar and they get a free hoagie at the end of the month.
Also, it's like they sit with you for 8 hours. They want to get that, or 4 or 5 hours. Like they don't want to lose the sale either, because they could have been selling to somebody else, Right. But like, I don't know. That kind of stuff freaks me. Like I am bad around salespeople, so I'm fascinated around. I don't even set up I would never set up a Cutco Knives or sales appointment at my house, because I know I'd buy it.
It's something that I hate. Honestly, it's one of those circumstances that I absolutely hate. I compete and work within the world that's presented to me, but at the same time, I don't think that car ownership should be done like this. Like it seems we're making up positions to get people transportation, and it's stupid. And I don't think that banks should be making money off of it, and I don't think it's efficient or effective. It doesn't represent the future that we need, and it was only made as a cynical scheme to get money out of people, and it's not the way moving forward.
Hell yeah. Well, that's the show.
Is it?
That's it.
That's Street Fight.
We did it all, baby.
Hope you appreciate it. We'll be back on Sunday. We're taking your calls 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you got something to say, we want to hear from you. Please consider subscribing on Patreon. Even if you don't listen to any of the content, if you just like us doing our free podcast, we really need some people to chip in on that monthly subscription on Patreon. And if you do, I mean, we're doing the most content of anybody out there. We got a zine, we got video content, we got extra audio, so many things going on the Patreon. So head to patreon.com/streetfightradio. You can get in there and get access to more stuff and what we do. We appreciate all that you give us and the support and love and messages and everything. You can find us on social media, of course. We're there and available. We're Street Fight WCRS on all of that. And we'll see you on Sunday. Peace.